Hi folks, I'm just walking the dog. Right, see if I can pick up the crows. I don't know if you can. There's some crows above me, or whatever they are, blackbirds or whatever. That horrible noise they make. It's depressing. Oh, you shut up. So, and the other one's barking at a dog that they've just had a ding dong. Can we hear that? I don't know if that's picking up that horrible sound. They've no right to make that horrible sound. They should be singing like all other birds. But no, they have to make that depressing sound, don't they? So anyway, today I just walking the dogs. I'm bored, so I thought I'd do a chat about absolutely nothing. Zero. If it suddenly dies, it's because the battery's on its last legs, and I couldn't be bothered putting new ones in. So just thought I'd randomly talk about absolutely nothing. Just things that have come to mind. For instance, look at them above me, making that horrible racket. What was I on about? Oh yeah, I noticed in the BBC, this is the government we've got in the UK. They gave meat and alcohol to the Hindus or Sikhs for Diwali. Now, I think everyone knows Hindus are, vegan stroke vegetarian. I think they're vegetarian, not stroke totally vegan. And they don't drink. Well, alright, I maybe know it because I'm vegetarian and I don't drink. But not that I've got any religious, nothing to do with religion with me. It's just I don't drink because in case I get stopped by the police, and I don't want to be over the limit because I often jump in the car and I don't think it's worth the risk. So I don't drink, and plus it's never done out for me. Oh, it's getting dark now, folks. But, and I don't know the details, but why don't you just have a nice shot? It was like your perfect opportunity. There's pictures of, some of the, I think they're the Hindus, all, done up and looking great. Great up photo op. You think you'd have a nice chef in to do some traditional food, maybe a bit fancy. And it's your perfect photo op. It's straightforward. It's not even, it's not even something you'd even think twice about. And then the thing is, when it's been brought in, didn't somebody go, that's meat, that's alcohol, one of the MPs or something? They just sit there and accept it. I mean, what? Oh, I don't know. I mean, we're reading the economy's going down the pan as well because for some reason they think that if you increase tax and the minimum wage, businesses are going to carry on investing. Of course they're not. They're just going to lay staff off and close businesses, which was what they're doing, and not open businesses. No, I mean, it's just bizarre. Oh dear, I'm putting up, it's just, what are they doing? Well, it just feels like they're just doing what the unions have told them. Oh yeah, just pump up the money and pay train drivers loads of cash because the unions give them loads of money. And they, what they want in a job at the unions once they're finished. Oh, it's just bizarre. I mean, what sort of brain dead twit thinks it's a great idea to get private education more expensive because all that'll happen is everybody can't afford to send the kids to private schools, so they end up sending them to state schools, which means that they suddenly have no places for them, so that costs even more. So that's going to cost the country more. Rather than raise tax, it's more likely going to cost a lot more. Oh God, you just don't know what they're doing. I mean, at least the last Labour government sort of, they gave us some sort of hope. They did sort of go, well, we're going to give you a bit of hope and stuff, and they did. I mean, I think they went over the top, building loads of schools that most I think probably unnecessary, but they went on a spending spree. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if half them schools need to demolish them because they usually get the cheapest contracts and build everything on the cheap. But anyway, that's councils for you. Oh dear. Well, it's mad, isn't it? Hang on, I'm just going to put my head torch on. It's getting dark. But you're just thinking, I can't get over this. It's like a joke. I mean, it's really basic not serving meat, isn't it, folks? I think most people would know. I mean, you don't have to be. I mean, these are the guys who are supposed to be all PC and stuff. I mean, is it because they're just employing people based on, everyone's based on tick box mentality rather than if they're any good? I mean, to me, and by the way, that's another thing, isn't it? Oh, hang on, I'm just seeing what there was over there. Is that a wall? I don't know. There's something. I don't know if they're sheep or something. Can't be. Sorry, I'm just looking in the field. I mean, I personally believe whenever you see businesses base things on tick box, saying we have to have quotas and stuff for people, to me that's racist. They can sit there and pretend that they're more, politically correct and all this, but if I worked, I don't care if you're in the hospitals or, it's a council building, if you're there and they're saying, oh, we do things on, what matters to us is getting the right numbers in, I just turn around and say, oh, so you're racist, and sue the ass off them. Don't accept it, folks. I mean, I can't see that being anything but racist. It's degrading, and the problem is, I know I'm going off subject again, but you find what happens is people who are then from a minority group, people just don't have any respect for them because they say, oh, well, you only got your job on the basis that you're in a minority group. Even if they did get the job because of the merits, people just don't respect them. And you see this a lot. Women in the past who've managed to get decent jobs in the past because of the merits. Not because, they ticked a box. Suddenly find now, people go, it's because she's a woman, or whatever. It just degrades people. I mean, if you ever get a job, and it's done because you haven't got, it's not done in your merits, you've literally just done it because you've selected a criteria, quit your job because no one's going to respect you. It's degrading. It's up to you if you want to stay there, but I'll be honest, I don't think a lot of people are going to respect you. They'll just ignore you. And I have been in businesses where, I won't say who it was a large one, and on this occasion there was this woman who was incompetent. I might have said I did sales. She was disgustingly incompetent. Well, she was doing actually a criminal act. She was in Morvan. She was... I won't say what it was, but she was too thick to know what she was doing was criminal. Against state protection, all sorts of rubbish stuff like that. But she was breaking it. And there was a woman who was quiet, who was actually competent. But this woman, because she was, to be blunt, she was fat. And she was mouthy. The employee, pushed her up. And in fact, one of the managers says, oh, we've done it because she organised a Christmas do. And I thought, oh, great. But this is what matters to people. And then you end up with idiots who can't do anything. But you see, for a lot of people, it's like politics. What matters to them isn't if the politician can do the job. What matters to them is if they say the right words. Oh, they're politically correct. Oh, they're not offensive. And they'll get upset about people who are offensive and they might not be the right, say the nice things and, they might be rude. I think, and perhaps this is what's happened in America, people have got sick of that and they've gone to the guy who isn't nice. And I think a lot of people have said, we don't like the guy, but we voted for him. We voted for somebody we didn't like, but because we consider him, he can do the job, or at least he's got more chance of doing a better job than the other person. Who's just saying just nonsense when you listen to his speeches. And by the way, personally, Michelle Obama, I'd have thought would have done a lot better. I mean, could you imagine her coming out with it? She'd have just done really good speeches. I mean, I'm not saying she'd have won, but I bet they should have got a lot more votes. It'd have probably been a much stronger, but I don't know. I'm not sure how popular she is in America. But to me, she would have done a lot better. But anyway, everyone's just, again, I think the reason they put forward was because, they thought, oh, she ticked a few boxes. Well, I'm not bothered. Making politics, I'm not interested in, to be honest. But even now, I was listening, you listen to people now, they're all going, oh, people voted for him, but he's not nice. He said naughty things. And I don't think people fully grasp that. A lot of people don't care anymore about naughty words, people saying things. He could sit here and say the most offensive things, and I'll be honest. Well, let's be honest, the other woman, what did she say? I think there was some suggestion that she was saying she was going to legalise weed for the black community. I hardly think she was much better, to be honest. But anyway, I might be wrong on that. I don't want to be sued in case I've got that story wrong. But it's all a bit rubbish, isn't it? But what have we got for politics now? The reality is, we were given the impression, weren't we, folks, that if you vote Labour, and all the goody two-shoes were saying, oh, Conservatives are evil, let's vote Labour, and they're so much nicer, and life will be wonderful, oh gosh. And then what did they do? They came along and thought, stuff the students, which, by the way, if you're Labour, left-wing, the one community you don't really stuff is the students by, increasing their fees. They're like the one, they're almost guaranteed. Students tend to be left-wing. They might change their minds as they get housing and stuff, once they start earning, but you sort of can. That's what, in Leeds, Lib Dems actually did get in the student area. They won at one point. He seemed a nice bloke as well. I felt sorry for him when he lost the other time. But for ages he was, because people students tend to be a bit more left-wing, I'd argue. Maybe I'm wrong. So, you have to be really dumb if you're Labour to stuff them over. And even Mrs Thatcher said, and I was watching a speech online, she says you don't tax priority things such as education, children's clothes, food, things like this. It's sort of, in some regards, she's now being more left-wing than this Labour lot. Because increasing, I'm not even sure was it Conservatives brought in charging students? I can't remember, was that Labour? It does make you look back and you're thinking Mrs Thatcher's more left-wing than a lot of Labour people are these days. When you listen to the speeches. Anyway. And the other thing, obviously, is, we'll just stuff everyone over by charging, increasing the bus fare. Again, it just... Oh, and not to mention taking the money off the pension. What are they playing at? Could you imagine? This is why I get a bit irritated by all these people who are posting, oh, Conservative bad and Labour superb. They've kept quiet, haven't they, now? When they took money off the elderly. They'd have gone mental, wouldn't they, folks? They're hypocrites, because they're the ones that have screamed blue murder. They would have screamed blue murder if Conservatives did it. But because Labour did it, they actually sit there and try and justify it. Oh, it's all right. I've seen them online saying it. They're hypocrites. That's why, when people say to me why I start mocking people, it's because they're hypocrites. And it makes me vomit when I see them being hypocrites like this. At least stick to your principles. You see a lot of people have zero principles and they're just more interested in social media likes. They like to post on Twitter or Instagram how wonderful they are and how caring. Gosh, I'm so caring. Oh, Conservatives so bad, and me, I vote Labour because I'm caring. Oh, now Labour have taken money off the pensions. Oh, I think it's a wonderful thing. It's care. Oh, you're full of it. Absolutely horrible people who do this. Same horrible people who, hang on, there's someone coming. Let's just see. Oh, someone is. Hang on. We'll wait till pass. I think somebody's walking the dogs. Let's just wait. Hang on. I thought I heard a voice. Let's just see. Hang on. It's all right. They're all friendly. Don't worry. He's only on the lead because he doesn't know how to play. He wants to play, but he'll knock you over. Have you seen the size of him? He doesn't understand. He'll be friendly. Look, he'll say hello, but he'll just, if I was to let him off, he'll knock everyone over. That's it. And some dogs are scared of him because he's so big. Although yours is about the same size, but yeah, she's the thug, the little one. Yeah, oh, look at her flopping out. I mean, she just had the operation, so she shouldn't be banded, but of course. See you later. Oh, you shut up. Ignore her. She's just been a show-off. Come on, you madam, moody. Sorry. Just walking past, she's been moody. She flops on the side for the dogs, which I don't think she's supposed to know. She's had that operation, had it ages ago. Anyway, I don't know if she's flirting. I don't know. She's a little madam. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the hypocrites of people. Oh yeah, I'm saying these are the same horrible, slimy people who posted all the time saying you've got to walk around in these fake, non-medical grade masks. They're going to save everyone's lives. People said that to me. I used to annoy them because I had this idiot in the woods when it happened. And I said, you do know they're not medical grade. Medical grade is N95 or N99. The tat people wear literally do nothing. They don't even fit the face. And this guy was such thicko that he had glasses on. And when he was breathing out, because the mask he had on was not proper one, there was a gap all over and the air was shooting straight up, steaming his glasses up, demonstrating that the air was coming in and out above there. It wasn't doing anything, you know. And these, you know, and it's the same bozo. Yeah, they're just arrogant idiots. I mean, I could always tell if someone was arrogant. They used to have their profile picture wearing a mask to try and claim they were nicer people. I mean, the worst one was that so-called comedian, and I thought it was about. He used to be, or he still is, a doctor, and he posted on Twitter. I don't think he's got a show anymore, but he's up himself, thinks he's nice and lovely. He posted a picture of a bloke on the train or underground or whatever it was without a mask on. Now, he's supposed to be a doctor. Well, he doesn't know if the guy had medical health problems, and he's doing that. I thought, yeah, horrible man. Horrible. It was the same one who did that charity song, and I think I posted, didn't get a response. They ignored it. A couple of them blocked me because I said, is this charity linked to animal rights? I mean, animal abuse, animal testing, sorry. Because from what I gather, it had some indirect or direct contact with animal testing. Considering one, or at least maybe even more of the comedians was apparently vegetarian or vegan, you'd have thought maybe they wouldn't be promoting such a charity. But anyway, that's why I'm always, you know, people come up to me and say, oh, do you support this charity? And I go, no, because it could have connections to animal testing. It's, you know, I always think it's charities should. It'd be nice if charities actually had a badge on saying, you know, like vegetarian food or vegan food. You know, they might have a nice badge saying that they have no connection directly or indirectly with animal testing, because I'm always wondering, so many do, but anyway, that's going off subject. It's just something to think about, folks. If you're not into animal rights, fair enough, but you know, you might be. Still. So where are we up to? Oh yeah, and it's the same people who listen to them crows, where, you know, encourage everyone to say, oh, you've got to do this lockdown, which, you know, by the looks of it, what did it do? Achieve nothing. I mean, people, you know, even care homes, I don't think there were many care homes, if any, didn't get the old, you know what, the big C. better not say it in case it gets picked up on YouTubes. But, when you look at the stats, the people, and the government official stats haven't got upset because they used to post them every day because people would argue with me, and I used to go, let's have a look at the stats, shall we? The bulk, very few people under 80, 75, actually died with it. By the way, it was recorded, from my understanding, with, not from. So that's, anyone who died, I think, was just, we'll just write it down. I don't think anyone's ever tested, so, those figures are a bit misleading, I think. I might be wrong. But it got past. I mean, this is the problem when everyone's wearing these fake medical grade masks. People might think, they do something, because people argue and say, no, it does something. You're going, no, it doesn't. And apparently, and by the way, if you still think they do, go online. The BBC even did an article saying non-medical grade masks do not protect you in any way. They did that about a year or two ago. This has just said that it's the medical ones that might have some impact because of how fine the virus is. Anyway, even doctors were saying that N95 wasn't good enough. They wanted N99. So, anyway, we digress. But there's they're now going on about all the kids having mental health problems and being in a mess because of they were sent home and couldn't socialise. Or they were in schools being told by teachers who were messing about, saying you should be living in fear. You know what they did near me? They just came out, they played out all day. They were probably mixing more doing that than if they'd been in school. I mean, it was a bit like the idiots who would line you up at supermarkets, and I bet they just made that up. I didn't stand outside for hours. You think I was going to stand outside breathing in people's smoke? I just walked straight in, said I've got medical problems. I didn't care. I was laughing at people who were stood in the rain for 2 hours. I nipped in, got my shopping and left. I weren't bothered. You shouldn't do that. It was naughty of you. Sod off. But it's all a bit of a, I don't think it saved any lives. I'll be honest, the lockdowns. But people are still, because they want control and they want to feel important, and they're saying it did, but I don't think it did. I think it's created more problems than anything. People missing treatments of cancer and all sorts. What a disaster. I've said it from the beginning. Should have just let it burn through. You protect the vulnerable, the elderly, and everyone else gets it. And guess what happens there, folks? Quite simple, which I believe this is what the government plan was. Everyone gets it, they recover, and then they're immune from it, in theory. And then the elderly are more protected because you haven't got it to pass on, if you see what I mean. That's normally the process. And by the way, if you look at countries that didn't bother with the lockdown, their death rate, same. There's no difference. All these idiots are saying, look at Sweden, they're all going to die tomorrow. And these kind people came up to me and said, you're going to die because you're not bothering. Fair enough, never died. I've watched people running around in fear. I used to watch people walking around. Oh, and by the way, it wasn't these so-called nice people. It was only a few months before they were claiming that they were into the environment. Now they were encouraging people to get these masks that couldn't dispose of, and they were just scattered everywhere. You walked along, they were all over the place, rotting away. I mean, goodness sakes, I bet that's ended up in the sea. They were fakes. That was another principle. I didn't wear one. I never wore one once. No, I'll tell a lie, I did it for 30 seconds and that was it. I was annoyed I had to. Because I had to buy something in the shop and the morons in there were insisting. And I had no option. And I was fuming. It was just some paper tat. In fact, they were the ones that the government, I think, originally said didn't work at all. The ones that, they're the spit ones that surgeons wear. They're not designed to stop any spread of anything. It's just to stop you spitting on the patients as you operate. That's all they're designed for. And these idiots are handing them out because they suddenly decided they're medical experts in these shops. And they're getting all huffy with me because I'm laughing at them, saying how ridiculous they are. No evidence of this. I kept saying, provide some evidence. You're just making it up. It's whatever rubbish comes in your head. These were, this is what we had to live through. Nonsense. I mean, the woods were packed near me. The ones I've just gone in? They were packed, full of elderly people because they didn't want to stay indoors. They just wanted to go out, and they were living in fear of being arrested. It was disgusting. And I think people are still getting nicked now. I don't know. It's disgusting. Shame on anybody. I mean, there were, and people, all these people phoning up going, I can see my neighbour, they've been out more than 2 seconds, they should be getting arrested. Can you come round, police, and arrest them? That is awful. These are the so-called nice people. Horrible people. Yep. I mean, yeah, I'm still annoyed over it. I still see people now, these arrogant, and you can always tell they're arrogant idiots with their face. I still see people now post online saying, I'm still wearing my mask, how should I turn a nice person? Oh, you're an idiot. Living in fear. And you see people now walking around in fear. They've got mental health problems. Their life's over because that'll be it for the rest of their life. They're going to spend their whole life walking around in masks. And by the way, all these non-medical grade masks that are just tacked, a lot of them have got fibres you're breathing in. So, I've got a feeling in 10 years or so, people are going to be reading how people are all suddenly developing lung cancer or lung problems. And they'll be going, oh, why is that spiked up from all these people who aren't smoking? Guess what? But anyway. Oh, dear folks. What else has popped up? Oh, yeah, our friend Milo showing his bottom off. As he was, I think he was taking some pictures in town, as he does. And somebody's photographed him bent over and you can see a bit of his bottom. Bit embarrassing there. What else has come up? Oh, a woman at the protest isn't talking to me because I came out of the court the other week and somebody said something. She came to defend one of the protesters or something, and I didn't know. I just came out, and one of the opposition said something to her. Nothing major, but apparently, so I didn't jump up and down or something. Oh, she's not talking to me. She walked off the other week. Oh, God, she's bigger than me. I don't know what, I mean, if it was out of both of us, I'd want her to defend me. She's bigger than me. But hey-ho, you can't win. Oh dear, see how long it is before she starts talking again. Last time someone didn't talk, everyone stops talking to me. Ages ago I used to work in a cinema in Leeds, and one of the projections there used to have this computer in Leeds office. They had the projection room upstairs. You weren't allowed in, but I used to sneak in all the time, just to annoy them. Anyway, he were boasting how we were playing this computer game for months, and they got this top score, and he obviously just put it on pause and left the computer running. So it was about to just break his score, so I couldn't resist it. I know this sounds awful, but I'm an evil sod. I went up and turned it off. I was in hysterics. He went mental and wouldn't talk to me. I thought he was joking because it's the sort of thing he normally would have done to anyone else anyway. He was a bit of a comedian himself. Oh, he wouldn't talk to me for months. He did eventually. He was a nice bloke. Although, I'll tell you, this is the most disgusting thing he used to do. Tell me this isn't disgusting, folks. He used to get a salad and put brown sauce on it, and I'm sorry, but I just think that it's unforgivable. I mean, can you imagine somebody? I used to walk and he'd be there. Oh, he'd love it. He'd cover it in brown sauce. Ugh. I mean, ugh. Anyway, I miss them cinema days. They were fun until they pulled the cinema down. If you ever go, it's an empty space still. It was a lovely building. Used to love going there. Work weekends there. And I used to have my little, I've just said it, I did a little blackness Micra, and I dolled it. Well, it was originally gold, and I painted it black badly. And I put Night Rider lights on, and I had this talking alarm. And I used to park it outside the cinema, so every time people would walk past it, it'd say, "Stand back, this car is alarmed." Or was it the other way around? It was brilliant. I must have that. I don't know if I've still got the alarm somewhere. Might have stopped working. Yeah, it was great fun times. God, it seems so long ago. I tell you what film was on it with The Bodyguard. That's I'll never forget. That's when I started. So you can work out when I was working there. Although I hated going to the, I'm scared of heights, and where our changing room was, you had to go up this horrible steps, and you could look down. Oh, it's terrifying me. But apart from that, it was great fun. Shame they pulled it down. But, you know, they kept saying, oh, we're going to build something there. It's just an empty space. It was shameful. Never forgiven for pulling that building down. Never. Wish I'd taken some pictures of it. I have got a couple, but I can't remember where I put them. Yeah. Oh, well. I think that's our chat done. I'm nearly heading back. What else? I think I've covered everything I fancied chatting about. Just get stuff off my chest, basically. No doubt I'll probably get abuse again next time I go out. Everyone will go, no, you're right wing because you're filming, by these so-called nice, supposed to be, they claim they're left wing, but, when somebody comes up to you and starts blocking you and stuff like this and whinging, and like I said the other day, I still can't believe that fat bloke were going up saying, we're right wing because we're filming, and yet he's a photographer. You got to be as dumb as anything. Well, you're a bigot. These people are bigoted. They claim to be left-wing. Well, they're not. I'm more, we're all more left-wing than these people because they're bigots. They're bigots who believe that only certain people should film. Or they think everyone who's working class is right-wing. These are just bigots. But they go round with this smug attitude saying, basically a lot of them are fascists, but they think they cover it up by claiming they're left-wing. And they've convinced themselves they're nice. They're not. A lot of people who are claiming to be left-wing are the most horriblest people I've come across. And I don't think they are left-wing. That's why I call them fake left-wing. They're just bigots and thugs who go around saying, look at me, I'm into trade union, I'm socialist. I see them, you go online and they aren't even, they think it's funny to get, well, it's like, what was it? You see him a lot. Like that bloke who on about, if he goes to court over it, slashing people's throats who he views as inferior to him, or right wing, or working class, or whatever. And all the middle class women were laughing. These not nice people at all. They expose themselves. They expose themselves to what they are: horrible people, thugs, nasty people. You can't claim to be left wing. That's why I think we should stop calling them left wing. Just call them what they are: thugs, horrible people. I think I'm left wing. I think these people are horrible. Ugh, anyway. Oh dear, folks. Well, just like that bloke who assaulted me. And you see him, it'll be interesting if we see him again. With his mental anger. With his thuggish mates. They can't even pretend to be left wing, can they? I think he got upset because I call him a fascist because he is. You know what I mean? He's a thug. Horrible man. Oh dear. Well, I think it's starting to rain, folks. Oh dear. Oh, I hate this time of year. Dark and depressing. I bet if I look at my car, I don't think it's that even late. And yet it's pitch black and... Oh dear. At least sometimes... I agree this. I was chatting a few years ago to this Irish guy, and he said what I say. When it gets to January, you just think, oh, it's now spring. That's what he does. He convinces himself, and I do that. Thought, well said. There's only way you can get through. You sort of think, oh, well, from now on, it's going to get nicer each and every day. And then it takes forever, and then by the time it gets to May or whatever, it's still, what was it, horrible weather last year, or this year, should I say? Rain. I think there's a few things popping up in the news, isn't there? It's just depressing often. Oh dear. Shall I leave it there? I think I will. I bored myself silly. just nice, you know, sometimes you just need to chat and get stuff off your chest, don't you, folks? Bore everyone else silly. I mean, anyway, we'll leave it there, folks. Alright then, bye. I bet I haven't even pressed record.